Excellent work, Commander. This council is pleased to see our continued support of this project has been worthwhile.
Hello everybody. How are you all doing? Happy time-appropriate greeting to you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever the sun is doing. I hope you're enjoying it. Happy! How's it going, Malkavian24, Psychedelic Funk, Penta, Epona21, Sleepy Windows, Man. Sleepy Windows, thank you so much during the pre-roll for those 2 months Tier 1 sub ports. Always awesome to see a smug sense of superiority being renewed. And I'm glad you've decided to stick around. So going Benoit, Unique Nick, showing off the brand new 9-month sub badge that we've got. You hadn't noticed. 9-month subs now have a Watcher energy badge instead of the Ironclad energy badge, so we've got 4 rotating energy badges to go through. Really liking the way that looks, actually. There's a swanky badge. And I didn't notice until now, but BaylorBot is behind on the sub badge there. How come my own bot has only been subbed to me for 9 months when I've been subbed to me for more than 9 months? This doesn't make any sense. Beat the heart for the first time, mostly because you were like, oh, would Baylor say the deck needs this? Was it Piercing Whale? I bet it was Piercing Whale. Congratulations, Sleepy Windows. That's definitely a victory to celebrate. First heart kill is definitely an incredible feeling. Now, it's a bit far objectively, but are there any special plans for Friday? I'm starting to brew. I don't have any concrete plans for, I imagine we'll do our next silly day on Sunday. Fridays are the current day off for the stream, which is a pattern I intend to continue for a little while. Mostly to accommodate, like, real-life stuff in a way that makes sense for me. But come our next silly day, I had an idea. I haven't yet had a chance to use the Watcher card. There's a couple Watcher cards here that are like, I don't feel like they're particularly takeable, but they seem like they're really cool ideas. And one such card is Nirvana. Whenever you play a card, upgrade it for the rest of combat. Which is kind of like a poor man's apotheosis, you could look at it. You get to upgrade everything, but only the second time you play them. And there's not a whole lot of decks that truly benefit that. The way I tend to build decks, in High Ascension especially, is that it's not too cycle heavy. And so it's a 30 to 40 card deck often. and you're only really going through the deck once, maybe twice in a fight. So a card that only upgrades cards the second time you play them, doesn't have a lot of purpose in such decks. But what if we utilized this card to its fullest and combine it with something that could really, really benefit from what it says? And the card that comes to mind here is, of course, Ironclad's Searing Blow, which can be upgraded any number of times. So Searing Blow would be kind of like a Rampage, in that it would get stronger every single time it's played, each fight. And then to force us to use that mechanic, we combine this with a Fusion Hammer to start. So the setup ends up being your starting deck has a Searing Blow in it, a Nirvana in it, and a Fusion Hammer. And so the goal is to use the Nirvana to make the Searing Blow into this, like, scaling monstrosity to win boss fights. I think that'd be pretty neat. Would you need to scale it every fight? Yes, you would. Yes, you would. And could you win doing that? That is the question. That is the question. I imagine it would be a really big struggle in fights like Triple Slavers, where you have to put out a lot of damage really quickly. And so to mitigate that, we might, like, add some front-loader damage cards to the deck to let us to do that while still trying to use the Searing Blow as some sort of boss-killing mechanism. I'd love to see it play out. Love to see it play out. So that's something that I've got in mind. Would that involve removing the starting relic or just adding a hammer? Probably replacing it. It feels more fair, quote-unquote, to me, to replace the starting relic, because that's something you can do normally within the run. And we have that equivalence from the game, that adding a boss relic is worth removing your starting relic, and giving it your starting bonus. Is there any deck that doesn't struggle with Triple Slavers? Anything with enough copies of Backstab, or a Bottled Whirlwind or something. There are a few decks out there that can handle Triple Slavers really, really well, but they tend to struggle very much against bosses. The Searing Blow, top Sundial, and the 2 cards. So just an infinite Searing Blow upgrade combo. I wonder what upgrade level the Searing Blow would be at when that killed various bosses. Like, it's an equation that you could actually math out. Like, how many hit points does the enemy have? What bonus does the Searing Blow end with when it kills the enemy? It's kind of interesting, the balance between, like, a deck that's good at boss fights and a deck that's good at elites, is really, really interesting. Because they're very much 2 different skills in Slay the Spire, which is part of what makes for the game's design brilliance, I think. A deck that has, like, a Bottled Immolate, and a Necronomicon, or, like, several copies of Backstab, or something, can totally and utterly dispatch elites really easily and pick up a lot of relics in the early game. But these same things will be more of a hindrance than a help against, like, Time Eater or the Heart of the Spire. And so it becomes a equation of, like, how useful are the relics you're going to get from the elites, and the rare cards that the elites will drop. How much can those improve you at the boss fight in order to mitigate the downside of the poor matchup that you've created by taking things that are strong for the elite fight. One of the, again, many reasons that high Ascension decks tend to end up in the 35 to 40 card range is you're building a deck that is like 3 separate decks merged into one. You've got a deck that's equipped for hallway fights, that's like 10 of your cards, your front-loaded damage. A deck that's equipped for elite fights, which is mostly the same, but also a lot of your front-loaded block cards. And then a deck that's good for the bosses, which is the powers that scale you up, like a Demon Form, Creative AI, your Focus Gain, whatever it might be, that gets you there. Noxious Fumes. And you have to walk a tightrope that is balancing all three of those tasks at the same time. Stance Dance Revolution. That sounds... that's a great way to phrase that, fairly really. The thing I'm seeing with Watcher at the moment... Let's talk about Watcher for a little bit here. Watcher's still in a pretty rough place. I was talking about this, I think last night in somebody else's stream. And comparing the... We're only in, what, like week 1 of Watcher being added to the game? She's still really rough around the edges. It's part of why I'm not including her on the ladder streak. But based on the stories I was hearing about Defect last night, Defect also came into Spire in a really, really rough state. There were several cards that Defect had that were totally breaking and made it really, really easy to get either brokenly outscaled or made for easy infinite combos. A card called Prime was a Defect power that allowed you to draw a card every time you channeled an orb. And that created some really, really, really easy infinite setups. Watcher has a fairly analogous card at the moment, which I think is called... Where are you? Not Establishment. Adaptation. Whenever you switch stances, draw a card. This card, similarly to Rhyme, allows the Watcher to merge card draw and energy gain onto the same card. Because the calm stance allows you to be energy neutral or even sometimes energy positive by switching stances. And the same was true of orb cards. You had like zero cost zap, and you could play Fusion Plus to actually gain energy by channeling orbs. Adding a card draw onto those same cards created this like positive feedback loop of power that I've been seeing with adaptation decks on Watcher. And so it seems like they're running into a very similar issue from a balance perspective. I've heard that changes to adaptation and the card that tends to be paired really, really well with it, Meditate, are coming in some form. I'm really curious to see what ends up changing. But the devs have shown, especially with some of the reworks like the rework we got to Vigilance, they've shown that they're willing to dramatically rework cards in order to make a more cohesive feeling for the class. So I'm really excited to see what they come up with in that regard. Apparently, the early version of Defect that launched similarly struggled with scaling. The whole like scaling up orbs thing that Defect does was not easy to do or reliable to do in that very first incarnation of Defect. Capacitor, in its original incarnation, was a common card that gave you 1 orb slot, or 2 if upgraded. And the only other source of defragment... the only other source of focus was defragment. There was no consume. And while there was Bias Cog, there wasn't Core Surge to go with it. Nor was there a Clockwork Souvenir in the game. Or Orange Pellets. So there were almost no ways to make permanent the Bias Cognition buff. And it made it really, really difficult for Defect to find ways to beat the bosses. And a lot of changes later, we have a very, very different idea of what Defect is and what they look like, and how they win. So I imagine the same will become true of Watcher. Right now it does feel like Watcher's best strategy a lot of the time is to go for some sort of either infinite combo or at the very minimum just like to take advantage of stance switching. And anything other than that is a little like less reliable feeling than that particular like dominant strategy. And I imagine that that is going to change as the devs realize like that they add pieces into the game to create solutions to, like, the puzzle of how do you scale in this direction. Ways to make biased cognition permanent, ways to get orb slots that are more reasonable, stuff like that. Stuff like that. And yeah, you're thinking of allocate TPN. It was, I think, lose 1 dexterity, lose 1 strength, gain 1 or 2 focus. And it was very, very strong. That one got removed pretty quickly, I hear. And I imagine the same is going to be true for Watcher, in that we're going to see some of the cards that end up, like, troublesome to balance. If there are cards that where the idea is cool, but there's no way to make them reasonable, or they present some kind of inherent problem, we will see them deleted entirely. Possibly to be replaced with something that fills a gap that was found. So I'm expecting to see the card pool of Watcher change quite a bit. How many cards are currently in Watcher's pool, by the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, she's got a full 75 cards at the moment. And that might go up or down, though. Prey does not feel good to use as a rare card. That's one of the ones in my head where I'm like, I've seen this card a couple times, and my mind keeps wondering, what is the use case of this thing? It's not very much mantra. There are better ways to get mantra in, like, in the uncommon pool. Worship and Devotion are both better at generating mantra than this rare card. And it's shuffling a miracle into your draw pile, which is not even necessarily a beneficial thing. Like, if it added the miracle to your hand, that would be kind of cool. And then it would at least be, like, 0 energy mantra. But I don't know. It's not clear what it's supposed to be doing. Like, one way to look at this is what does this upgrade to? Oh yeah, it gives you an upgraded miracle. That's right. You're spending 1 energy to get a card that gives you 1 energy and 3 mantra. So it's net energy neutral for 3 mantra. And then compare to, what is it? Prostrate. Upgraded, this is 2 mantra for 0 energy, and it gives you block at the same time. So the rare that kind of feels more like a complicated, less effective version of a common is mostly just baffling to me. She have more rare cards than the others. She's got 21 rare cards. Compare that to Defect. 17 rare cards on Defect. 19 on Silent. 16 on Ironclad. Yeah, she has more rare cards than the other classes. By a decent margin. Didn't know that. Did not know that. And questions like the one about Prey are true for a lot of her cards. And I imagine that as the beta period is partially determined, like, what are these cards that are not really doing anything? Cards that... Card doesn't even necessarily have to be useless. If the devs see that nobody's picking a particular card because they perceive it to be useless, regardless of whether it is or is not actually useless, that is a reason to prompt action. So I look forward to how they address that. Been away for a few days, World's Ugliest Man. Well, you're just in time for a quick little discussion, Hunter. I don't anticipate I'm going to be playing any Watcher today, by the way. I'm going to be climbing up the ladder, rotating Ironclad, Defect, Silent, and checking out the new relics, which I'm really excited about. Really, still very hyped to be finding all the altered relics on the beta branch here, and they're the facet of game change that is most exciting to me at the moment. But the current, my current opinion on Watcher is, it's still, I think she only came out on, what, like, less than a week ago, right? Actually, don't remember. Yeah, she came out on the 9th, so 1 week ago. We're at 1 week of the Watcher, and several of those days have been a weekend, so Casey and Anthony haven't really been available to work on her for several of those days. And there have been 3 balance patches around her stuff already. So very much still in the process of changing. I imagine we're going to see beta art getting added fairly soon, as there's been a huge number of community submissions for that. And that'll make her a lot more interesting to play. That's a speculation on my part, by the way. I don't actually have any, like, confirmed information about anything. I'm just estimating. So don't take my words at, like, as gospel in this regard. I'm just guessing. Horncleat got a small buff. Did it? I don't have... Was there a patch after... I booted up like 40 minutes ago, before the stream started, so if there was a patch between, like, then and now, then that's cool. There is a new patch. Okay, well I should reboot then. Sweet. Okay, thank you for letting me know that before I jump into a run. Awesome. Alright, let's read some patch notes. I'm really hyped here. What changed? What did not change? Update queued. Download now. Ready to play. Did I try to watch her daily yet? I have not, the Unhus. That sounds like a pretty sweet idea for the next time we do a Silly Runs Day. And how's it going, Bart? Good to see you as always. Chinese or pizza? My vote's always for pizza, Toka. My vote is always for pizza. Look at that. Bug fix. Stick oil no longer displays the confused keyword. We got to see that once before it was fixed. Tantrums cannot change stance power now. Correctly flag as debuff, so you can remove it with orange pellets and block it with, what you call it? Artifact. Adding Sash Whip card. So, Watcher got a new common. Card Clarity was removed. Don't actually remember what that one was. Buff to Follow Up. Buff to Horncleat. Slight rework to Path of Victory. Wallop is now uncommon, costs 2 and deals less, so 1 less rare card in her rare card pool. And a couple of wording improvements. I appreciate that Talk to the Hand got a wording update, because that one was definitely inaccurate. Definitely inaccurate, and Wireheading is now renamed Foresight, which I think I appreciate. I'm not sure what the term Wireheading was referencing, but it doesn't sound to me like a card that makes sense for a monk-style or priest-style character. So let's take a look at the new cards here. We're gonna look at Sash Whip, we're gonna look at Path to Victory, Wallop, and I want to see the reading on Talk to the Hand. So, to the card library. Is Sash Whip gonna show up? Sash Whip might not show up here because I haven't seen it. Looks like it's not here. So I wanted to look at Talk to the Hand. Here's Pact to the Victory. Play the top card of your draw pile, exhaust. Okay, so it's like Havoc, except it exhausts, and not the top card of your deck. Neat. I like it. I like it. Wallop now basically dash. Deal 10 damage, deal block equal to unblocked damage dealt. Oh, that is so much better than dash. Oh my gosh. Given how Watcher works, this is often do 20 damage, gain 20 block. And it upgrades to 13. So, analogous to block if you're not using stances at all. That's pretty sweet. And gets, like, both block and damage scaling off of strength. Which is also neat. And scales with vulnerable. The block scales with vulnerable. Yeah, that is really good. That is really good. I like that. The 3 energy one was unwieldy but good, and this one's just good. I'll be taking that a lot when I see it. What else was I looking at? Oh yeah, what was Talk to the Hand phrased now? Whenever you attack this enemy, gain 2 block. Okay, that's much better phrasing, and is accurate. So you gain block multiple times for a multi-hit attack, I believe. New path to victory is play the top card of your draw pile and exhaust, with the upgrade no longer causing it to exhaust, but staying at 1 cost. So a Havoc that, given all the, actually this is the kind of card I want to see more of in Watcher, is cards that do something with like the top card of your draw pile, because there's so many cards that allow you to look at and discard the top card of your draw pile. With that scry mechanic, it makes sense to include Watcher cards that can take advantage of knowing exactly what the top card of the draw pile is. The kind of card I envisioned, like if I was going to personally add a Watcher card to the game, it would say something, it would be like, a card that says like, look at the top card of your draw pile. If it's an attack, deal 10 damage. If it's a skill, gain 10 block. Something like a card that does different things depending on what's on top of the draw pile. And then you can force it to do something specific by manipulating the top card of the draw pile, or just knowing what the top card of the draw pile can be by looking at the draw pile. Want to see more stuff like Weave? Weave. Don't remember I don't know off the cards off the top of my head. Oh yeah, this one. Whenever you scry and would oh, they updated the phrasing on this too. Whenever you scry and would discard this card, instead put it into your hand. That is much better phrasing. And there should definitely be... I think it would be cool to have a block equivalent to this. A 0 cost block card that does the same. That'd be heckin' neat. Oh, there's a card on the list after the rares? Yeah, unknown. So we haven't seen it yet. So I'm not allowed to know what it is. I think it's an attack card of some kind. Yeah, this is the new common Sash Whip, I think it's called. Whip. What else was changed in this patch? I don't remember what Clarity even did. Well, rip Clarity. And that's actually, I was just talking about that, right? I expect to see some of the cards completely deleted. And there we go. One of these cards, the Watcher had, is completely deleted. I wonder if Spire Info knows what it was. Oh, Rip Clarity, huh? That was the card that let you look at the top several cards of your draw pile, adding 1 to your hand and exhausting the others. That'll definitely make it more difficult for Watcher to achieve any kind of infinite combo, because it removes one of Watcher's exhaust cards. The card was uncomfortable to play with, Grew Whisper. It, like Havoc, is actually worse than Havoc, in that you could really easily screw yourself over by exhausting an important card with that one. So you had to be really careful with it. I wonder if that's why it got deprecated. I think in general, I'm still of the opinion that Watcher is a little bit too punishing to play for especially newer players. Like, if you're still getting used to what stances do and how they work, it's really easy to get yourself, to leave yourself in Wrath stance without being able to transition out of it. And the Watcher can just, like, die from doing that one time. Like, and especially if you're not, like, most players are not hugely familiar with how enemy AI patterns work either. So, like, imagine ending up in Wrath Stance on turn 2 of the Hexaghost fight because you were fighting Hexaghost for the very first time or something. It's unlikely to do that with Watcher, but I can envision a situation where it happens. We're still unused to how Hexaghost works anyway. Which ultimately boils down to, like, the downside of Wrath Stance is so massive that I'm not sure how you could possibly make it not really punishing. Right? If you're offering such a massive trade for the player, then it has to be fairly intuitive when that trade should be made and when not. Or it's going to be really hard for a new player to
valued supporters
to do it.
Continued support of the XCOM project.
Is it known how Watcher's going to be unlocked? Almost certainly, Jampy. It'll just be play a run with the defect. I don't imagine they would want to lock it behind a heart kill, because that would feel... I don't know, that feels too exclusionary for how Spire approaches unlocks. From a gameplay experience perspective, it might make legitimate, given the current stance, it might make sense to lock it behind a heart kill as a statement of like, hey, this character is this much harder than the others to learn, so you'll enjoy it more if you already understand the game. But I can't see them doing that, so I imagine it's just a defect kill. Rick80, thank you so much for those 13 months of Twitch Prime support. Watching Baylor Lord instead of lesson planning for 13 months in a row. Are you students have they been waiting the whole time? Are they just like, hey, can we have our lessons so we can graduate? Been 13 months. You should probably get on that, Rickon. Just but also don't stop watching because I appreciate you.
Four months of support. We are extremely
and
impressed.
Somebody who can actually speak more to experience with the Watcher than I can. You have played so much Watcher in the last week, Minnie. Holy moly. Thank you so much for those 4 months of support. Hope you've been having a good one. Hope you're enjoying your Watcher experience. And thanks for supporting the stream. Re-Hexaghost, there is nothing in-game that explains... the multi-attack damage value. That explains how turn 2 Hexaghost works. There's also nothing in the game that explains what Time Eater is going to do at half health, or what Champ is going to do at half health. So there are definitely a couple moments with regards to enemy behavior that is just totally going to catch people off guard the first time they encounter it. Spire has a lot less of this than most games. Most games, roguelikes especially, give you no kind of warning with mechanics like this. And so I can't really criticize Spire for something like this, because Spire's better at this than most other games, but it is definitely something that can blindside you. Would a bestiary be a good addition to the game? I think so. Something in-game that explained the actual possible attack patterns or intents of the various enemies would be a really, really good addition to making the game a bit more accessible. But we do make do with our spreadsheet, which has all the... Oh, I can't spell. Has all the information on what various enemy AI patterns do. It's not then I think various wikis are they're okay, but I've always found the most up-to-date and accurate information in that spreadsheet consistently. So we have at least a nice way to share the knowledge that we have about the game. But as far as in-game information goes, there's definitely room for improvement. Room for improvement. So again, Spire better than every other game in this regard. You should you should see the amount of back when I played XCOM Lung War, the amount of mechanics that could only be learned about XCOM by digging into the game code or just sciencing things. I actually remember, like, discovering a new mechanic in XCOM 1 Long War that, like, wasn't public knowledge. There's a bonus to the range of your soldiers if they're higher up, in addition to their accuracy, that nobody seemed to be aware of. I was like, hey, this is a thing that seems to be happening. Is this a bug? And it turned out it was like a feature. Oh, I highly recommend it, Critter. I was also watching... The reason that's why I was thinking about XCOM is Jorbs was doing some Long War 1 earlier today, and I, as a former Long War 1 player myself, I had to tune in and see what was going on there. Reminded me of how much I missed that game. Totally worth picking up the first XCOM, even if you don't play a modded version. It's a super, super enjoyable strategy game. And the Long War mod really transforms it. If you've never played it before, I recommend a vanilla playthrough before you attempt the madness that is Long War. But either is awesome. Either is awesome. Anyway, been yakking for nearly an hour. Holy crap, have I become Sneaky Teak? Just talking for an hour at the start of stream? Let's play some Spire, ladies and gentlemen. Where am I on the ladder here? Strong disagree on playing Enemy Within before playing Long War. What makes you say that, Guru Whisperer? The reasoning on my end, I think it was even Jake Solomon or one of the developers for Enemy Within called the vanilla game a 20-hour tutorial for Long War. Long War is really, really punishing and has a lot more complexity than the base game, and so the base game does make it like an unacceptable kind of tutorial for Long War. You have bad expectations. That is fair, actually. Long War, despite how brutal and how hard it is, it's more fair than vanilla in a lot of ways. Which I found out when I tried to, on our anniversary stream, some months ago, I tried playing Iron Man Impossible Vanilla Enemy Within. That did not go very well. Did not go very well. Most of my memories are of Long War, and vanilla has some BS that it does, especially on the highest difficulty. So our last run was Ironclad on Ascension 2, which means it's silent time. Here's the silent. Silent Ascension 3. Elites are deadlier. All the Spire elites do a little bit more damage. Grumlanab hits for 2 more damage on all his attacks. Sentries hit for 1 more. Lagavulin hits for 2 more. All the way up to Spire Spear, hitting 4 times instead of 3 on the big attack turn, so 10 damage more. And some other changes. Got hopes to catch me later when I'm already at 820. See you later, Minnie. Thanks for dropping by. I imagine you're gonna beat me to an 820 heart kill the way you're going. So, best of luck on your own runs, good sir. Let's embark. Greetings! Would you like a random rare relic or a random common relic? I guess I could choose a card, but quite frankly, I can't remember the last time I clicked on choose a card as a starting option. I can't say it's ever a wrong choice. Getting 1 card pick ahead lets you get a little bit stronger for elites, etc., but I'd almost rather have that strength increase in the form of a relic. Oh, you mean on this ladder? Oh, gotcha. I don't know why I was thinking about Watcher specifically. Understood. How's it going, Buzzdick? So what does our pathing look like? The decision-making here, quite frankly, whether we take a common or a rare relic comes down to whether I'm going to need that gold. So is my path going to incorporate a store? If yes, I'm going to take the common relic. If no, I'm going to take the rare relic. And it looks like it is going to incorporate a store, because I'm seeing fire, elite, fire up this left path here, which is probably the highest value. My other options are... Oh, I can do the same path over here. Oh, hello. Yeah, this is the same pathing, but it doesn't hit a store. So I can take the rare relic and go this way. Perfect. Okay, give me a rare relic then. We got a lizard tail. Oh my gosh. I got to start with a lizard tail, and I didn't have to lose my ring of the snake to get it. When we would die, heal to half our health instead. Just once. That makes me reasonably certain that I can take a bit of a riskier path, because I know I have an out in the form of the lizard tail. And I am indeed going to attempt to tackle these two elites up the middle here. Sounds great to me. Sounds great to me. Okay, smooth and easy cultist fight. We're offered 3 damage cards, so it's kind of a pick our own flavor here. Generally speaking, Dagger Spray is one of the better damage cards for Silent, because it is AoE, scales well with Strength, and has a +4 damage upgrade, compared to Quick Slash, which is offering +4 damage, just like Dagger Spray, but only does it to one target, which makes the upgrade on Dagger Spray a better upgrade than the upgrade on Quick Slash, even though it's +4 either way. Quick Slash lets you draw a card, so it's nice when you essentially don't want the card to take up space in your deck. Sneaky Strike does more damage, but is 2 cost, and making it free is conditional on having a reliable way to discard cards. If we already had a Dagger Throw or an Acrobatics, or a Prepared or something, Sneaky Strike becomes a lot more takeable, but as it is, it's a pretty iffy attack that we can't reliably make free. Quick Slash is better versus Lagavulin, that's true. That is true. Not enough, at least not at this Ascension. On Ascension 19, where the Lagavulin gives you -2, I think the Quick Slash against Lagavulin matchup is more significant. But with only -1 strength per debuff, I'm not too concerned about the multi-hit nature of the Dagger Spray, for all the advantages it's going to offer. Plus, we're fighting Slime Boss and we want an AoE card, so all the more reason to take that. Oh my. A free frickin' Gremlin Horn on floor 2 is a pretty providential start to this run. Whenever an enemy dies, gain an energy draw card will make Slime Boss a lot easier. It'll make the hallway fights of this act a lot easier. And now, I get a Golden Idol. I could lose 5 max health to get it, or I can just take 17 damage, which I might be able to get away with here. Although realistically, considering our relatively dangerous path, this is 5 current health, so this is really only take 12. Okay, yeah, I'll take 12, comparatively. Take 12 more damage to keep the max health. Plus the Lizard Tail is better with more max health, so let's keep our maximum health as high as we can. Can't kill the Spike Slime, otherwise I would use the Lizard Tail there. Do I take 1? I'm just gonna kill him next turn, right? Yeah, be fine. Go for 0 damage taken. I was really hoping I'd draw the Dagger Spray. Unfortunate. We're here. Getting a few hit points, but not too bad. Not too bad. Liquid Bronze is definitely nice. And we're offered a Distraction, Dodge and Roll, and Infinite Blades. Not the hugest fan of Dodge and Roll without any dexterity, but it's the best card here. We could take a Distraction for random... This is 2 skills in 1, which makes it, like, exceptionally terrible against Gremlin Knob, and that alone is a reason enough to completely avoid it right now. Infinite Blades lets us do better damage output. It's okay against Slime Boss. I wonder if that's actually the take here, is an Infinite Blades, just to better our matchup against these elite fights and the Slime Boss well enough with the extra damage output. Just doesn't do damage very quickly. But it'll be great against Sentries, it'll be okay against Knob, it'll be great against Lagavulin. Alright, I've talked myself into an Infinite Blades. What a rarity. What a rarity. Effectively 16 health. By Dagger Spray, Strike, I get a Gremlin Horn proc. Or I can triple block to take 1. Take 3 if I kill this guy. Go for the greedy play. Play did not pay off. Or wait, did it? Strike. Yeah, that'll kill. I'll kill either of you. Gremlin Horn gives me an energy back. Full block. Okay. That was the right route through the fight. It's shocking how often it's possible to save a few hit points in these early combats by adopting a different route. A different sequence of card plays. Oh no, Furly Whirly. It took me a little bit to really like rock in my head that I needed to check for ectoplasm, or I needed to like reevaluate Golden Idol, because I'm pretty sure I've taken Golden Idol with ectoplasm at least once instead of habit. Just out of habit. Deadly Poison's a nice way to start on some scaling damage. That'll be great. Or I could take a Sucker Punch for a little bit of extra weaken. I think I'm gonna go with the Poison. This will make our matchup against Lagavulin a lot better, especially. And I can afford to upgrade it before I go into the elite fight. So am I upgrading... Am I good enough against Lagavulin to upgrade Dagger Spray instead? I don't think so. I think we go Deadly Poison. Upgrade first. I'll use my Liquid Bronze if this is triple sentries. It's Lagavulin, so I'm really happy I upgraded Deadly Poison. Perfect. Poison will cause Lagavulin to wake up immediately, so I'll do the 1 damage. At least we got our Infinite Blades in play. That extra 4 damage a turn will help quite a bit. I should be good enough here that we can go block heavy. Really hope that's true anyway. Okay, Neutralize coming up next turn is good. Probably gonna lose another 10 health here. Thereabouts. Let's see, is there any way I'm killing this thing next turn? We're doing 19 damage over the next 2 turns, which puts it at 43 minus 19 is 24. I have to do 24 damage. Be 19. No, I can't do that. Okay, so we defend. Oof. Oh, I could have done 24 damage because of the shiv. Okay, so I was actually meant to play that strike last turn. I forgot about the shiv in that math equation. I could have done 24. Dang it! And I have drawn none of my block cards, which means we're resting. And that's okay. That's okay. Even if we low roll here, we have the, Yeah, it would have been exactly enough. Dang. Dang. But we got a Ninja Scroll. Start of each combat, put 3 shivs into our hand. And a frickin' glass knife this early on? Are you kidding me? 3 orange foster kittens. You'd better be taking pictures. I demand kitty pictures. Kitty tax is demanded. On Discord. That sounds incredibly adorable, Jen. I think what I'm going to do here... This might cost me my lizard tail, but I think what I'm going to do is going to take and upgrade Glass Knife and fight this elite, because I think there's a chance we just kill a Gremlin Knob or triple sentries without taking any damage. Whereas we'll take a ton of damage if I rest and don't upgrade this Glass Knife. So this might go poorly, but even if it does, we have Lizard Tail to save us. And it's getting us set up for a really powerful Act 2. Oh. Kunai. Every time we play 3 attacks in 1 turn, gain 1 dexterity. Infinite Blades and Ninja Scroll say hello. They say hello. Am I still bronzing in this fight? Almost assuredly, yeah. Almost assuredly, yes. So, not just an oddly smooth stone. It's an oddly smooth stone that does other stuff over the course of the rest of the fight. Good stuff. Really good stuff. I think we can get 3 attacks off pretty often. Oh my. Oh my. Not quite kill. Damn it. Yeah, I'm worried I'm gonna take a hit from this guy now. Should have blocked that turn, maybe? Oh, I have 2 health. Got ourselves a strength potion and a singing bowl. When adding cards to the deck, we can instead increase our max hit points by 2. Do I want a blade dance? Probably, right? It's a kunai proc if I upgrade it. Shirt in the social. Oh, there's our baby! Is that a bowl of shredded Wheaties on the floor? That is adorable. And you're gonna have an adorable couple of weeks while you foster them. Let's take a blade dance. And I am resting, because I have 2 health. And I get to anger the mushrooms because I rested. Also because we're really good at this fight. We have a Gremlin Horn, we have a Dagger Spray, we have a Glass Knife Plus. We are very good at this fight. Not draw the Glass Knife Plus. That's what, 17 damage, so not a kill. Fortunately, I easily block. I get a free Odd Mushroom, so that's 2 event relics this act. Odd Mushroom says when we're vulnerable, take less increased attack damage. Fairy in a Bottle is yet another second life. When we would die, heal a 30% of our max health instead, and discard this potion. This will trigger before the Lizard Tail, and so keep it safe. Escape Plan is an excellent, excellent card in a deck that is gaining lots of dexterity, so I like it quite a lot here. Although I don't mind taking 2 max hit points either. But Eviscerate, though. Yes, all the discard I have to make Eviscerate work. So good. Fairy in a Bottle was recently buffed, yes. This is only on the beta branch that you'll see the 30% value. Take that Escape Plan. One more event or another card pick. Card picks are good because of Singing Bowl, and we're really good at hallway fights, so I think we want to deliberately take fights right now. Hey look, an easier version of the fight I just beat. Although I drew more poorly. So I think I'm taking some damage here. That's 12 plus 18, so I can kill either of them. And then block. Alright. Oh, I'm supposed to target this one. Yeah, whatever. Oh. Well, that was a nice neutralized draw. Oh, we also have the odd mushroom. So the additional damage we took from vulnerable was decreased. I didn't even think about that. We're only being hit for 7 instead of 9 here. Convenient. Very convenient. Cloak and Dagger with a kunai. Do I need any further explanation as to why I'm taking this card? It is block, it gives shivs. It's all we want in one convenient package. It's also a skill, so it'll make the escape plan better. What a beautiful start to a run. We have 7 relics so far? Holy crap. A lot of relics. And no longer are you trolled, indeed. Your salvation has arrived, Chrono. I have both a Blade Dance and a Cloak and Dagger to upgrade, so I don't really want another unupgraded Shiv card. Dash is, like, fine. But I don't think I really need it. Feels like an easy 2 max hit points here. If we were lacking in front-loaded damage and block, like if I didn't have the Cloak and Dagger, and the Glass Knife Plus especially, I would consider the dash. But as it stands... Take the 2 hit points instead. Makes both our Fairy in a Bottle and our Lizard Tail better. Let's upgrade one of our Shiv cards, probably the Cloak and Dagger. Although the Dagger Spray upgrade is significant and important as well. It just feels less significant and important than getting more kunai procs. I think I will use my Strength Potion here, though. Myself 2 strength. It's a pretty good turn 1. Slime Boss splits at 70 health. Oh, Deadly Poison. Definitely helps. What a perfect turn 2 as well. And I'm drawing Glass Knife for the split. Beautiful. Let's see, 8 plus... So I can do up to 19 more? That's not 19 more. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Rip Slime Boss. Rip Slime Boss. Why not the Blade Dance for the upgrade? As it's both Blade Dance and Cloak and Dagger upgraded to 1 additional Shiv, and it comes down to the question of which one am I more likely to be playing. And for me, I think the answer is the Cloak and Dagger, because it also blocks. So I wanted the upgrade on that. But the Blade Dance upgrade is shortly happening as well, as both of them are very good. Cool, we get a Block Potion. We're offered a Wraith Form for Intangibleness, or another Glass Knife, or a Tool of the Trade. It says, at the start of your turn, draw and discard 1 card. Wraith Form's pretty good. Even in a, with a deck that has a kunai, you can actually outpace the dex loss sometimes, and so you kind of have no downside to this. If you're scaling up quickly enough. It allows you to spend a couple of turns focusing on offense quite heavily. I don't think I need it, though. Do I want anything else? This might even be 2 hit points. What rare card did I really want? Adrenaline, for sure. I would have taken. After Image, for sure. I think Tools of the Trade is okay. Glass Knife is okay for some more front load. I would want to upgrade that Glass Knife immediately, and then I would have 2 of them, and I would just kind of chunk my way through everything. That sounds pretty great, actually. Let's chunk our way through everything with another Glass Knife. Oh, interesting. So our options here are Cursed Key. Gain an energy at the start of your turn. Whenever you open a non-boss chest, obtain a curse. The Revamped Hovering Kite. The first time you discard a card each turn, gain 1 energy. It's a shame I didn't take Tools of the Trade, because then I would be able to take this Hovering Kite. It's a really shame I didn't take the Tools of the Trade. I wonder if the Revamped Hovering Kite means that I want to take discard cards a little bit more often so that I have an excuse to take this. There's also Calling Bell. Upon pickup, obtain a unique curse and 3 relics. Deck definitely appreciates more energy. Letting us play more cards consistently is great for triggering Kunai and benefiting from Kunai. So Kunai just goes faster off of 4 energy. That said, more relics sounds pretty hilarious. More relics sounds pretty hilarious, so we could just take a Calling Bell. I want to take the Calling Bell here. I think the Curse Key is a little bit more beneficial ultimately, but I'm going to take the Bell. So we get Curse of the Bell. Unplayable, this curse cannot be removed from the deck. And our rewards are Runic Dodecahedron, so we immediately got our 4th energy, because we are currently at full health, thanks to Ascension 3. Turnip, which says we can no longer become frail, which makes our block cards worth way more. And Meal Ticket. When we enter a shop, heal 15 health, which can potentially combo with the Dodecahedron to allow us to stay at more energy. We might be able to get Bites or Bloody Idol in Act 2 to let us stay at full health. I'm definitely going to prioritize events more than anything else right now, because of the multiple different interactions we could get that would make us really strong. So definitely going to visit these 2 events, and then we're going to evaluate from there where we're headed. But if either of these are vampires or Bloody Idol, we could be about to have an amazing time. Oh, birds, you are so doomed. Got bad news for you guys. Got really bad news for you guys. Got him. Got them. Good fight, birds. You did it. Seconded Dagger Spray would mostly be useful against the fight we just had, the birds. But not the bees, though. Poison Stab Plus could allow us a little bit more poison scaling. Who's our boss? Champ? Ooh, I might need that. That is poison scaling and a kunai trigger. I might need that. Might need that. Giant book open riddled with cryptic writings will cost me 16 health, one more than the meal ticket can provide. And if we get a Necronomicon, we might have to turn it down, because we don't have any 2-cost attacks currently. But I find that getting used to playing at the lower ascensions makes me misplay more when I get to the higher ones. There's definitely some amount of unfamiliarity that happens on both sides, right? I misplay more on the lower ascensions when I play on the high ones too, but the lower ones are more forgiving of mistakes. But I don't think it'll be like, even if that is the case, then all I need to do is play on A20 for a little bit, and I imagine all that'll come back, which I have no problem doing. Take Necronomicurse or Riot. Can't have anybody rioting in the chat, so we'll take the Necronomicon, and hopefully we'll find an attack to go with that, because Necronomicon is an incredible relic. Our first 2 energy attack that we play each turn is doubled. And upon pickup, we get another unremovable curse. Oh, hey, there's our bloody idol. In front of you sits an altar to a forgotten god. Offer golden idol. You gently set the idol onto the altar. A cold wind swirls throughout the room. Your golden idol begins to dull in color and begins bleeding from its eyes. The bleeding never. We now have the bloody idol. Whenever we gain gold, we will heal 5 hit points. And that's our ticket into getting Runic Dodecahedron back to functional status. Potentially. Oh, these guys will steal our gold, so they're gonna heal us twice with the bloody idol too. Or 3 times? No, I think it's 2 piles, right? Could be 2 piles. Take 1 to get that in play. Yeah, I need ceramic fish or maw bank now. Either of those would be great. So picking up our stolen gold heals us, which is excellent. We're offered another Blade Dance, a setup plus, and a Sneaky Strike. That Sneaky Strike gets doubled by Necronomicon. Hold on. Do I want a Sneaky Strike? Because of the Necronomicon? It's like, worst case scenario, this is 28 damage, and 2 ticks towards Kunai for 2 energy. And if I have discarded a card, which only occurs if I draw it with Survivor, then I get 2 more energy back. It does refund 4 energy if I proc the energy requirement, but we don't really have the discard to make that happen yet. And it is upgraded. I would really just rather have a Predator. Just gonna put that out there. I would really just rather have a Predator. But that's enough damage. Alright. I could go to the store and get to full health, but then I don't get to fight all these elites. I would like to fight all these elites. Stores are for nerds or whatever. Fight some elites. Good. Perfect block like that. Convenient. It's true. Taking the second glass knife, it'd be kind of a waste to not fight the elites with these 2 glass knives. So we're so good at fights. Come on, dash. Deflect is fine? Yeah, deflect is fine. Another block card, and this one's a 0 energy cost. Although backflip's great too. Backflip might even be better with our dodecahedron working. Take that backflip. Okay, Gremlin Horn should trivialize this fight pretty nicely for us. Thank you, Gremlin Horn. Draw into our poison cards. Nope, I drew my Dagger Spray instead. Got 2 decks on turn 1, always good. Hit him real hard on turn 2. Now we're being attacked for way too much damage. Hooray! Hooray. Gremlin Horn, I'm counting on you. This might be... I think this is a good opportunity to use our Draw Potion. It might also be a good opportunity to use our Energy Potion. Definitely use the Swift Potion, though. Definitely gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so we drew Survivor, which is excellent. Very good that we drew that. How much would you like a shuriken? Extremely like. Very much want that. Let's see, we're doing 12 currently? So I need to do 9 more damage to kill this nerd. Finish him off there for the Gremlin Horn proc. And then we full block. Okay, good potions. Very good potions. Oh, he's at it again. Uh-oh. Can't potion this time. Damn. Well, that's scary. Fortunately, I do have, as before, a Gremlin Horn. I can at least draw 1 card after killing him. Take a bit here. Dreams of Runic Dodecahedron procking are fading into the distance now. Alas. That's okay. Because we have a Toxic Egg. Whenever we add a skill into the deck, it is upgraded. And there's a dash. Gain 10 block, deal 10 damage. Just like windmill slam my hand down onto my mouse to click on this card. Because of Necronomicon. And great times are about to ensue. Excellent times are about to ensue. Dash also a very important upgrade, by the way. Oh, hi! Did you guys know that I have a Gremlin Horn? Do you guys know that? I also have 2 glass knives, by the way. Did you also know? Should be a kill, right? Man, we're really behind on removals, huh? Ow. It's a little bit more punishing than I thought it would be. Lantern! Start our combats with an extra energy. Always pairs well with Silent, who has extra cards on turn 1 to spend. And we're offered either a footwork for some dex or an accuracy for a boost to our shiv damage, or a riddle with holes, if we would like to deal damage a whole bunch of times. I think with 1 Blade Dance, 1 Cloak and Dagger, and 1 Infinite Blades, accuracy is starting to be pretty good, and if we draw it on turn 1, it makes the Ninja Scroll better too. Skip is totally fine, for the record. But I think we do need some offensive scaling. So maybe I want this accuracy, of all things. Is it time to take an upgrade in accuracy? I go with... it is time to do that. More relics, please. Ice Cream says, energy is now conserved between turns. I like ice cream. Ice cream is good. Ice cream is great. Ice cream is lovely. Speaking of which, I think we'd rather bank energy than play 1 more strike here. So that we might have it for a future turn. Not this turn, though. This turn is butts. Again, gonna defer the strike play. Hoping that someday I'll have a better hand. Today is that day. Ow. We might dead next turn? Uh-oh. Well, no, because I have both a Fairy Bottle and a Lizard Tail. But I thought our matchup against this particular foe was a little bit better than this. It's a bit of a yikes. Gotta get the poison damage going, or we're never gonna leave the fight in the form of killing our opponent. Which I would really like to do exactly now. Okay. Keeps us alive, in the sense that we don't lose our Fairy in a Bottle or our Lizard Tail just yet. It feels like the Fairy in a Bottle is about to see some use. More healing. Toy Ornithopter. Whenever we use a potion, heal 5. Dodge and Roll and Concentrate are both really interesting here. Concentrate we can play at the end of our turn to just gain 2 energy, which we bank between turns with the Ice Cream. Dodge and Roll lets me block real well with my Kunai. Does it give me 30% plus 5? No. Because Fairy in a Bottle is weird, and you don't actually use it. So the phrasing on Fairy in a Bottle, which is really important here, I don't know why it works like this, and I think it's silly, but it says, when you would die, heal to 30% of your max hit points instead, and discard this potion. Fairy in a Bottle gets discarded instead of being used, and so it doesn't trigger Toy Ornithopter for some reason. I don't know why, but it doesn't. There's not a combo there for some reason. I think I want this Dodge and Roll for the champ fight. We're a little bit slow. We're a bit lacking in block guards, so I'm going to take that. Oh, we got a mystery shop. That was really fortuitous for a lot of reasons. Oh my god. Excuse me, what? I'm just gonna take a short break here, refill my water, and just parse the amazingness that this store is. I will be right back. Alrighty, everybody, we have returned. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. And thank you, everybody, for coming out today to hang out with me in the stream. So cool to have so many of you hanging out here. Man, there's some really good options in this store. Some really good options in this store. Let's look at all of them. So first of all, the relics. Anchor is 10 block on turn 1. Always good stuff. Very reliably good relic, especially in Act 3. Oddly Smooth Stone is 1 additional dexterity, so 1 extra block every time we play a block card, which is pretty heckin' good. Did I add the deflect? No, I chose the backflip. Orange Pellet says, when we play a power, attack, and skill in the same turn, remove all of our debuffs. Which allows us to do things like Purge Vulnerability, is the big thing it can do. Although, actually, now that I think about it, because we have the Odd Mushroom, there's a lot less value in removing Vulnerable with Orange Pellets. So they're not as appealing. This mushroom's going to help me a lot in the champ fight, by the way, as well. Preventing the Vulnerable from being too bad. Oh, and we have a turnip, too, so we're all set for champ. And we don't care about Frail. So this Orange Pellets is doing almost nothing for us. Almost nothing. So with the fairy, when dying, you open the potion, the fairy that's in the bottle heals you. And then you throw the bottle. But isn't that how, like, all the potions work, though? Like, when I drink an Essence of Steel, it's not the bottle that... Like, I drink the liquid that's in there, which is what heals me. Or gives me armor, or whatever. And then the bottle, I just, like, toss it on the ground, presumably. I don't eat the whole... Do I eat the whole bottle, normally? Is that what I'm doing? Maybe that's what's going on. Is that with these other potions, the Silent is actually just, like, consuming the entire potion. Bottle and all. We're not drinking the fairy. Aren't we? Maybe not. Perhaps that's why. How does this Ornithopter even work? Seems like madness. Sure feels like a good time to start removing strikes from the deck. We're past the point where we would see bites, so I'd really like to remove a strike. How about Apotheosis here? What is Apotheosis doing for me? Apotheosis is upgrading every card in the deck, which is mostly just the strikes into the defense. We have a Toxic Egg, and that means every skill we add from now on is going to be upgraded. So it's not, like, the most amazing Apotheosis, but it's still doing a lot. Still doing a lot. Sounds drinkable when you mouse over it. Yeah, it's a pretty liquidy noise, right? Blorp. Blorp. I'm almost positive I want this backflip. Well-Laid Plans is kind of a must, right? At the end of turn, retain up to 1 card. Silent Classic lets us line up the kunai more often, lets us draw block, lets us hold on to blocks for more important turns, lets Sneaky Strike with Ice Cream actually trigger more often. Dark Shackles Plus is an insane card. Yeah, Dark Shackles is definitely on my essential list here. And Backflip and Well-Laid Plans. Totally agreed, Chrono. I would like to buy all 3 of these cards, and I think I'm doing that no matter what else I'm doing. How much money is that going to cost me? 125 plus 87, so a little bit over 200. I can still afford Apotheosis or a Relic and a card removal, and I think that's where I'm going to end up, is a Relic and a card removal. Because I cannot afford Apotheosis card removal, that's 250. But I can afford either Oddly Smooth Stone or Anchor and a card removal. Wait, can I? Yeah, I can. Yep. So do I want even more decks, or do I want block on turn 1 specifically? Feels like I want more block on turn 1 specifically. Our turn 1s are already pretty good. It lets me build more momentum on turn 1 by, like, getting an extra point of dex. Or something. Shop relics are now priced like common relics. That's right, Carissa. That is correct. That is correct. Took 10 damage versus +3 strength slavers on turn 1. Is that... that sounds like a pretty good argument in favor of Anchor. If we took 10 damage on slavers, that we might have wanted an extra 10 block. I'm gonna go with the Anchor here. That's where my gut is telling me to go. Although I definitely see an argument for the Smooth Stone. We'll see how often I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Right very much now, in fact. Because it lets me get another kunai proc here. Backflip. So we get doubled. Do quite a bit of damage, actually. I can hold on to dodge and roll? Cool. Should rather hold on to Survivor. Fair to not be able to argue with Anchor. It's a pretty dang good relic most of the time. Dang good relic. A bit of an ouch here. It's alright, we got numerous ways to heal. So all is well. Blade Dance Plus, I mean... I think I want that, right? Pretty sure I want that. What we mostly want is Cloak and Dagger Pluses. I'll take every single one of those that I see, probably. Good call. Good call. 20... At this point, would I take an accuracy? We did take an accuracy. We have one. So yes. I don't know that I would take another one, but that's because I already have one. Fumes? Fumes is maybe. Outmaneuver is also a possibility with this ice cream. Right, Magico? The relic count's huge here. We had 7 relics by the end of Act 1, and then Calling Bell led to even more relics. This does feel like it might be max health. I think that is. Alright, one more elite. Tri-Slavers round 2. Not nearly as good of a turn 1 as last time. Unfortunately for us. Oh, or is it? We get to Survivor Sneaky Strike for the first time. That's really exciting. So we get 4 energy back, which we get to keep with the ice cream. And we get to dunk this guy. Alright, now this is actually a better turn 1 than last time. Never mind. Never mind. The timing on that accuracy is so trolly, I like it. Pet Nib. Every 10th attack we play is doubled in damage. Oh my. After Image versus Cloak and Dagger is quite the question. I think this deck wants an After Image. 1 block every time we play a card. We're very deliberately trying to spam cards. So After Image sounds great. But I did say I was going to take every Cloak and Dagger I saw, didn't I? Nah, I'll go with the After Image. I'll go with the After Image. We're going to upgrade, I think, Well-Aid plans first. Behind on upgrades. It's a shame we never saw any Apotheosises this end. Take the double kunai proc. We don't actually have to poison champ. We can just out kunai him, pretty much. Shouldn't be hard. Bank up energy here. I keep the glass knives as high as I can get them too, so that we have more damage available to us when it's time to split champ here. But now my primary goal is, again, gain as much dex as possible. Yeah, we got lucky with Champ's, he didn't do any blocking or... Well, I guess he gave himself 2 strength. But that's pretty easy to deal with. Alright, that's still not half health for Champ. We could take advantage of that. So now I want to do as much damage as I can. We brought Champ below half health. Turn after Champ goes below half health, he will enrage, becoming very angry. And attacking us for a great deal of damage. I can't believe I drew these 2 cards together again, by the way. Look at that. I'm gonna hold on to this for next turn, because he's about to remove all poison from himself. And I'm probably not going to kill him next turn. Man, not the odd mushroom for nothing, because we're not even vulnerable this turn. How tragic. Boop. It's a very cute attack, Champ. It's not really realistic for me to kill him without using Pen Nib, but I can at least have Pen Nib on 1. Or 2, actually. Blech. Calipers would be good here. Has been officially called. How about Storm of Steel? Is Storm of Steel officially good here? Discard your hand, add an upgraded Shiv into your hand for each card and discard it. Lets us get more kunai stuff happening. Feels a little frivolous. Doesn't mean it's not good. That I finished Dicey Dungeons. We finished all of the episodes and got the ending of Tonic, but then the devs went ahead and added new episodes to the game recently. So it's likely that I'll be playing more in the near future. Surely it's not Wraith Form good. Wraith Form's pretty dang good. I'm not sure we need the Wraith Form. But Wraith Form is definitely good. As like an insurance policy, giving us a couple of invincibility turns when we need them most. And with the well-laid plans, we can line those invincibility turns up perfectly. So Wraith Form seems kind of excellent. I'll pick a Wraith Form up then. Ooh, 3 energy relics, all being offered to us. There's this Laver's Collar. During boss and elite combats, gain an energy, start of your turn. So it's an energy relic that doesn't apply in hallway fights. Fusion Hammer. Gain an extra energy every turn, but we cannot upgrade at rest sites or Coffee Dripper. Gain an energy at on every turn, but we can no longer rest. I think we have enough healing that we could just take a Coffee Dripper and have it be no downside. I gotta finish the Merc's last day when Grifflin's update drops. Ooh, they're adding the last day? Probably that would definitely get me to revisit the game. I would love to check out Grifflin's a bit more. Yeah, we've got, for healing, we got Bloody Idol, we have Meal Ticket, Toy Ornithopter, Berry in a Bottle, Lizard Tail. Like, I have so many ways to gain hit points. Called the Slaver's Collar, Jelly Baby. Coffee Dripper. And part of the reason to do that over like the Fusion Hammer is that we start at full health here, thanks to being only on Ascension 3. When we hit Ascension 5, we no longer heal to full after boss combats, but for now, we get to take full advantage. Might as well go to the store, get another card removed. That's probably what I'll be doing there. But not necessarily. Slight order there. Could have taken better advantage of my pen nib that I forgot I had. Outburst would be very good here. Wow. Those are some cards. Who's our boss again? I don't remember checking. Donu and Deca. Okay, so we're not fighting Time Eater, nor are we concerned about the powers from Awakened One, so we can just take on whatever we want here. Do I know when they'll officially release Watcher? When she's done, I Feldman. Based on how long it took Defect to reach this date, I would guess it'll be at least a month. That's my best guess. So, Footwork's excellent, Dodge Roll is excellent, Escape Plan is excellent. These are all excellent. These are all just incredible. We had one of them. Honestly feel like I don't need the dex from Footwork. I do want more things to use the dex. Let's take a Dodge Roll. Acrobatics is a very good way to draw some more cards. Draw 4, discard 1. With the amount of energy we now have, thanks to Coffee Dripper, this is incredibly good. Impatience is potentially nice for 0 cost card draw. But I can't also afford a removal of a strike, which we'd like to do. We got 2 unremovable curses, so getting rid of our worst cards, strikes in this case, is pretty high priority. So I would take this if I could afford it, but I can't. Do I know what happens when I go below? Is 0 health when I have Lizard Tail and Fairy in a Bottle. The Fairy in a Bottle will trigger first. I think I still have like a command for that or something. Just have a clip from Pans showing off the interaction there. I have it. Oh, there it is. Yes, Snizzard. That's right. That's what I called that command. Snizzard. Snizzard. Pretty much all the interactions. This is from a very old version of the game, but the interaction hasn't changed since that clip. I'll let you know how the Lizard Snizzard works. So what route am I taking? Probably want to hit 2 elites. Fires are good, because we're a little bit behind on upgrades. And none of the other routes are better, although the lack of question marks this way is a little perturbing. But fights are good, so it's fine. It'll just take a while. It's fine, it'll just take a while. Oh, pen nib, damn it! Damn it, me. When I say behind on upgrades, am I referring to a set number or a situation based on each run? Usually when I say behind on upgrades, I mean that my deck has multiple cards that are high priority upgrades. Right now this deck would like to upgrade Accuracy, it would like to upgrade Blade Dance, it would like to upgrade Dagger Spray, and it would really like to upgrade Neutralize too. It's our only weak source. So because of that, it means that we want to catch up by upgrading a lot of the cards that we already have, rather than adding new cards that we're looking to upgrade, like, say... Oh yeah, and Wraith Form, too. You should even see the Wraith form. So, like, when we consider more cards that we're upgrading, another way to refer to this is upgrade debt, I think Jorbs calls it. Sneaky Teak probably calls it that as well. The idea that you are waiting to upgrade the cards that are already in your deck, and that means adding more cards that need to be upgraded is difficult to do. Fortunately, because we have a Toxic Egg, we're unlikely to add more cards to the deck that need to be upgraded, because many of them are already upgraded. Teak also calls it behind on upgrades. Cool. But then we share a language. Excellent. Gonna, like, put all three of these guys low on health. Damn it. Frickin' I cannot remember this pendant for the life of me right now. Pendant boy. I'll just use you incredibly suboptimally. Perfect. My hand. Should be able to maybe combo out like a... Kill with the Gremlin Horn here. Perfect. Man, first copy of Piercing Whale. This is a really important card, although we do have a Dark Shackle, so it's not like we don't have something that fills that role at the very minimum. That Predator is ridiculous, though, right? This is a 40 damage, draw 4 cards next turn. And there is a Blade Dance Plus. I'm going to swap out this potion, because I don't have a good source of weak in the deck, so that's actually really nice. Predator's so good. The Predator. I feel like it's so strong that's worth it. Frickin' got him. Aha. Alright, I think we're back. Welcome back, everybody. That one was my ISP. I might have to make a phone call in the near future. Let me write this one down. Write this one down. 6:01 p.m. I'm gonna track down what's causing these disconnects and figure it out. Figure it out. Yeah, this enemy is super dead. We drew Predator on turn 1 and used the Vulnerable Potion. I'm not sure if that was shown before the stream dropped there. Kill the Guardian quickly here. Damn it, Pendant. Why am I so bad at that today? Oh my gosh. Could have killed him. This will hit me for 8 times 2. That's fine. No, 10 times 2. Excuse me. Sphere's still important when I gain dex and can't be frailed. I mean, the spikers aren't important either. So I don't think it matters too much. Don't think it matters too much. Deleted. Now we can take a piercing whale without it being competing with something that's also quite good. And we can get ahead on these upgrades. So let's upgrade Wraith Form first. That's just a really good upgrade. 1 extra turn of intangible. Pretty incredible. I did it. I remembered the pen nib. Hooray. Today is a great success. Perfect. Giant Head has the slow property, which means we probably want to play our attacks in order from least to most damaging. Every time we play a card, Giant Head takes 10% additional damage for the rest of the turn. Build up a lot of decks here. By the time Giant Head starts attacking, should be very non-threatening. Said moments before taking a ton of damage to him. Taking some. More than I'll heal off the... off the bloody idol. Although, if there's money in the chest, I'll heal off that. This is fine. Plus, I'm going to take damage this turn, too. I didn't draw backflip. We're going to hold on to Glass Knife. Should hold on to the Shiv, too, I suppose. But it blocked for 1. Hold on to the Glass Knife so I can use it with a pen nib. Double Sneaky Strike, but I think I want to double Predator. And now we have Wraith Form, so we're not taking any more damage this fight. Neutralize, double Predator. So what, 29, 25 times 2? Oh my goodness. Pretty good. Cloak and Dagger Plus, I'm happy to take. Very happy to take. Upgrade 2 random skills. 2 defense, that's fine. It's totally fine. Get our... Let's upgrade our Neutralize for the weekend turn. Since we don't have that. If I play a 2-cast attack on Pen Nib 8, the second attack from Necro will be doubled. That's right, Arthurius. Only one of the 2 Necronomicon attacks gets doubled, and if you have Pen Nib on either 8 or 9 when you play the thing, that'll work. Upgrade 2 random defense. Hey, upgraded defense are pretty good, fortunately. So I'll never complain, but I will miss my Pen Nib again. Dang it me. Joke's on you, I'm immune to frail, nerd. I'm immune to frail, now what? Double dash? Sure. Sure. I should just hold on to the cloak and daggers now. Your veggies and you too will be immune to frail. Delicious root vegetables. Gotta say, that Sneaky Strike has earned its place in the deck. It has done a pretty good job with the ice cream. Full health, another piercing wail, I'm gonna take it. And then we're going this way? Reptomancer. Convenient. End of a shiv? For a strike? Not the greatest thing, but it almost works. I avoid playing aggro. This time. Good. So on a Pendib Dagger Spray, I can remember things. Incredible, I know. Oh, Malaise wouldn't be too bad. Malaise would be filthy. Filthy amazing in this situation. I have too much energy. I would love a way to dump it all in one glorious moment. Skewer or Malaise. Oh, that works too. Unceasing Top. When we have no cards in hand during our turn, draw a card. Gives me the option to play a whole bunch to do some stuff. Skewer does get hit by Necro. It would be particularly amazing. I'll take an Entropic Brew over the Fire Potion, letting us fill all the empty potion slots with potions, although alongside a Fairy in a Bottle, it's not the greatest combo. To be honest with ya. Oh, what is this matchup? Excuse me. Yeah, Dagger Spray, okay. I suppose so. Let's make it a Dagger Spray worth playing. Stuff. This is actually fine. take damage, but I'm going to heal it back after the fight. And it speeds up the fight enough. There's that Envenom! Everyone's been begging for this card. When an attack deals unblocked attack damage, apply 1 poison. That seems pretty good. Where's my Riddle with Holes? I guess we did pass one a while ago. Now it would be a good card. Let's take that. Let's take that. Turn 1 Envenom, even. The enemy is the Writhing Mass. Writhing Mass says whenever you deal attack damage to them, they change their intent. The goal is to get them to a attack that you can block. This is the perfect one right now. Although I want to gain a dex, so I'm going to risk this. That'll work too. I'm immune to Frail, and I don't care that much about Vulnerable, so this intent works fine. Doesn't inflict Frail, what am I talking about? No idea. We want them to be doing the weak blocking attack or the vulnerable inflicting attack, because their other attacks are very much scarier. Especially in a deck that doesn't have a way to apply Weaken consistently. Like we don't. This attack inflicts a curse. This will permanently put a parasite into our deck, so we want to avoid it at all costs. It's fine, that's fine. Does hitting the hand limit trigger discard synergies? No. Because if your hand is full, you'll simply avoid drawing a card. They don't get discarded for any reason. And I think all the relevant discard synergies specify discarded from your hand, usually. Not Sneaky Strike, though. Which precludes discard from other methods. Like Scry. But I'm not sure how Scry interacts with discard stuff. At the moment, I am curious about that. I am curious about that. Chunked on. Really need another Blade Dance Plus? Nothing wrong with it, though. Sure. Meh. Feeling meh about that speed potion. Okay, we're gonna go for Donu first, because Dona buffs strength of both of these opponents. I'm gonna hold on to, actually, Dagger Spray Piercing Whale. Leave the Deadly Poison at home. Donu and deck have 2 artifact stacks we're gonna have to get through before we can do anything fun to them. Immediate regret. Just instantaneous. Well, let's find out what's in this potion. Perfect. That works perfectly. That works perfectly. Is the heart fight the same on all ascensions? No, Bihu. The heart fight undergoes numerous changes across the varying ascension levels, but is incredibly difficult at all of them, even on Ascension 0. The heart is a big old meanie. Where the heck's my Envenom at? Envenom, hello. There you are. How's it going, Dr. Donut? Welcome, welcome. Rest in pieces, don't you? You will be missed. Because of how delicious you were. So delicious. So we're pendipping a shiv. Have I played the Watcher? Yeah, we're on, I think, Ascension 4 now with Watcher. Still a little bit unpolished, but really cool class. Really looking forward to seeing where her balance ends up over the course of the next couple of weeks. But leaving her out of this ladder climbing challenge on account of her rough state and lack of card art, which is preventing me from wanting to play, like, constantly checking out the Watcher. Definitely some level of hibernation going on there. Pendip at 9 for the Elite fight. Alright, GG Donu Deca. Two thump, have I? Or have I not? Been here before. Where the hell am I? This is a Heart Streak challenge, that's right, Wakaxel. The goal is to defeat the Act 4 Heart of the Spire on every Ascension level. Back to back. Easier said than done, quite frankly. Easier said than done. I have faith. Let's see, card removal's pretty appealing. Just get one more strike out of this deck. There's a Footwork here, there's a Piercing Wail here, there's a Dodge and Roll here, and there's a Duplication Potion here. Which I think is really good. Playing our next card twice. Playing our next card twice. Do I think having Infinite Blades give me 2 shivs each turn would make it more viable in higher Ascensions, or make it too strong? I think if you were going to make a change like that... Camera, what are you doing? If we're going to make a change like that, I would like the upgrade to be 2 shivs a turn instead of upgrading to innate. And that would be cool. I would take the card more often if it did that. But having that particular upgrade, you run into a problem then that you're going to run into, like, hand size issues. So it, like, still kind of feels limited. How does Duplication Potion interact with the Necronomicon? We will play the card 3 times if we duplicate a Necronomicon. Oh, I can Duplication Potion the Wraith form. Oh my god, this is such a strong potion. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's filthy. That should not be allowed. That should not be allowed. Oh man, I can double Sneaky Strike here. But my hand is full. But I think I pinned him a Shiv here. Probably want to go for Shield first. On account of having Piercing Wails in the deck, Spire Spear won't be too dangerous. This is an uncommon potion, the Duplication Potion. So it's in the same rarity tier as, like, Essence of Steel, and Ghost in a Jar, and Blood Potion, and Focus Potion, and a bunch of other stuff. It is uncommon. Yeah, I just can't pen him. The Sneaky Strike is not realistic with how many cards I need to draw off Acrobatics, so... Look at that. Which feels a little awkward. Definitely. The accuracy there. That's just unfortunate. Well, that's just unfortunate. But I do have a lot of energy to play with now. And I've dealt a heck of a lot of damage. Might have made sense to Wraithform there. Yeah. Might have. Don't think I can get away with an Envenom here. It's gonna be hard to kill you. I kill you? Let's see, we're looking at... We have accuracy in play, actually, so probably, right? These are 27 plus 20 plus 6. Yeah, that should be a kill, right? 27 plus 26 is 53. And our opponent has exactly 53 health. So that should be exact lethal. Oh, we have pinned him. Well, that puts us clear into the kill zone. We want to pin him dash. Cool. So, Blade Dance dash will just kill, which means I can use Envenom. That's enough block, right? 10 times 4. I want to keep full health. So this would be 26 block. Yeah, that feels like enough. Get Envenom down. Exactly. Well, that was convenient. Got him. Ugh. Okay, hold on.